And I think quotas are necessary, and it's justice. Because we want representation of all the groups, we can say, or in this case, we want the representation of both men and women in decision-making processes in the society. Because we want the different experiences we have, we want the different histories we have, that we can have as gendered bodies in the world. And we have also learned during research that we can see that in parties or in workforce, if there are more equal representation of men and women, people are more happy, there are less harassment, the workforce is functioning better, there are less sick leave, and so on. So also research telling us that having a more or less equal representation of both gender is good for us, you know. And of course, if you want a healthy society, if you want good politics, if you want good decision making, we should be sure that we use the resources we have in a society, you know, putting women aside and only using a few percentages of women, it would be stupid, you know. So I said it's not a big discussion around it anymore, but traditionally you can say that it has been two types of arguments against quota systems in Norway. And they're very different because one is saying that but gender is irrelevant. We shouldn't be preoccupied with gender. We shouldn't think gender. We should think qualifications and, you know, all kinds of other stuff. And of course, I will agree to that in the sense that we should perhaps come to that level in a society where gender is irrelevant, you know? That would be a nice place, I think. And the second is, of course, the opposite, that it's taking away male privileges. But now in Norway, no one really want to dare to use that argument anymore. It's an old-fashioned argument, and you will not be very popular, you will not be re-elected as a man if you use that argument. It's an impossible argument. Yeah. Yeah. But it's very important to understand that Norway also has the same history as all the rest of the countries in the world. You know, the first feminists in the late 19th century, they were ridiculed. You know, they were made all kinds of jokes about them. And it was a tough fight to go to where women had the right to vote, and so on and so on and so on. So every step we have taken into a more gender equal society has been a fight. And that's how it is. But no, but yeah, yeah. Of course. Yes. But political changes, in a way, it will be a fight, you can say, you know. It will be arguments on both sides, and we have to. Yeah. But I think the Nordic countries, they were succeeding faster than many others because so many women decided to go into politics. And I always say that that is the most important part because it's the politics, it's the parties that decide politics, and it's politics that decide the laws, and the laws is changing the society. That's the way it is. Yeah. Yeah. Please, if you have any questions, ask me. Please. Because this happened in the 70s, and we had a very, very strong women's movement in the 70s. And that women's movement went into politics. It sort of took political stand and went into parties. Yeah. 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 Yeah, I think so. And then in practical life, the quotas has never been a problem. You know, it's never a problem to find a qualified woman to fill up a political body. It's never been a problem, you know. No. Yeah. Then you have to find them because they are there for sure. Yeah. But it's very interesting because your question is also pointing to when we extended the law and said that this is a law also for all private companies. You know, that they have to be 40% of each gender in all private companies, in the board of all private companies too. And that was much more debated, of course. And then the CEO said that, no, we cannot find in our, we are engineers and it's not so many women here. It's difficult for us to find qualified women to sit in the board. You know, that was a main argument against the law when it was voted through. But then we have researchers 10 years after and say it's no problem, you know. I see. Yeah. In politics, yeah. 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 Perhaps, I guess, money talks always, but I must say I'm, of course, principle, I disagree with a system like that. Because I don't think we should put value on women like that.